that. Ethan, I'm going to teach you about animals, and I'm going to teach you about speech. So we were covering about the tongue movement to the toes. Please, guys, don't confuse this with fascia release. There's no such thing as fascia release. There's fascia integration. It really should be worked on more so like integration of reflexes, way more than a release. But if you are looking for tongue movements, tongue articulations, one of the things that you'll see the complications of, especially let's say in cerebral palsy, is the tongue's movement and articulation, but you'll see contractures in the big toe. One of the main places where I start to work on, and you can see that, I did a photo comment. There's a lot, the tongue goes down, and then it really networks into the clavicles and continues to go down. They're both orange. We're all done with that. The cheetah is off the table. That's a police helicopter. So when I'm working on that, so what do I want to do around the clavicles? First of all, guys, this isn't about one lesson. You've got to really start to learn where you're going to be working with your child. If you want to concentrate on speech, it's not about la 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 la. Can they, first of all, do they have a pubic bone strike, right? That's your first thing you're looking at, fascia, right? If they don't have a pubic bone strike, if the pubic bone is pulled up, I can tell you the fascia is, quote, too tight, going from the toes to this. So the other one to look at is, do you have contractures in the toes themselves? Can the toes present? So again, this is where people get confused with reflexes because they're like, well, I'm working on palmar and plantar. Well, no, you're not, because that can't even do that. And can they come over the system? I have videos on this going back years. Coming over the system, is a person doing this, like you're bobbing for apples, or they can come up and over. What is coming up and over going to? Riding a bicycle, swinging, can you pump and do swings and do all of that? So if they cannot come over the system, one of the first places I work, first of all, can the clavicles do a counterbalance? And can they roll, right? My clavicles can roll. So right now, if I were to evaluate him, I don't have that weight transfer as nicely through there, and I can't, the rolling is what I've been working on. So again, what happens with the roll? You want to stick your tongue out. So if you're back here, you try not to move your clavicles and stick that tongue out, right? Versus if I roll them, right? Or especially counter. And I'm sure most of you guys are like, well, my kid can't do that. Well, why not? But don't sit there and think it's going to be the tongue availability when it's not available in the body. This is why we really talk about the weight transfer transitional skills. So it's not about pieces of parts. So it's important to recognize the fascia, but it also is important, what movement are you working on? I can't press 10 times on this area and say get results. I have to work on what movement. But I also have to open this area up for him also, because if the pelvis structure, let's say, has coccyvalga, it's also going to be hard to get that pubic bone straight and come over the system. So if I can't get over the system in the pelvis, what do I need to work on? I want nice flexible ribs, especially, again, look at how my clavicles move, and then nice flexible feet, because again, that's what's going to give my availability if I can't do it with my pelvis. So those are some of the things I'm working on, but this is where I'll go and get in here and start working on those things to help with speech. Right? Because you can just see that he can speak, he's cognitively fine, his vocabulary is fine. It's your articulation or the tongue movements that you're looking for, but the tongue is attached to the toes. Thanks.